Hello, welcome everybody. Hope you're really well. Now, as you know, I've set out three main priorities for the school's development over the course of the next 2 years, being language and literacy, well-being, and support. So I thought it'd be important for me to update you from time to time with our progress in these areas. And today, I'm going to let you know a little bit about what we've done towards school priority 1, language and literacy development. So, to start with, the Accelerated Reader platform, which is a personal favourite of mine, has been launched in Urca with years 7 and 8. And the intention is that if that trial goes well as I expect, this will be rolled out right across the whole school, both schools, probably through years 3 and 9 in due course. CAT4 data, cognitive abilities testing data, is now being widely used by teachers to identify students facing a significant verbal deficit, so as to support them more effectively, students with lower verbal skills than their other skills. We have a newly appointed EAL teacher in Urca, which is welcome. A pilot intervention is running in Botafogo with students who have an overall very high cognitive profile, but again, whose verbal skills are quite significantly lower. In Baja, EAL support is focused especially in year 7, with some preschool classes and also some in-day extraction of students for support. The proportion of first language expat staff for 2026 in Baja will rise significantly. We've fully tested and analysed staff English language proficiency levels right across the whole staff. That's 450 teachers. Both schools now have a specialist teacher focusing on providing support to staff whose language levels are below what we would like. We've prioritised that according to how the role of the different teachers involved. The staff recruitment process has been tightened up to make sure that we always include an English language proficiency assessment or look at or see a recognised qualification. The Literacy Across the Curriculum Working Group has decided to introduce the Understanding by Design framework for units of work and lesson planning. And that's going to really help with making sure language and literacy objectives are clearly pointed out in the lesson planning. The Writing Working Group has also been very busy. So a full survey has been undertaken by all staff in the area of writing to find out how confident or not teachers are with different purposes and genres of writing, which will then allow us to target our training and support accordingly. A school writing progression framework is planned to be developed. The survey is also showing us that we need to do a little bit more to make sure that we're sharing resources and that we're leaving time in class for the editing and publishing processes of extended writing. A shared drive has been set up in primary as a writing hub, and that's going to be a home for a bank of writing examples and a toolkit for teachers to use, like videos of shared writing activities, for example. The Reading Working Party is focusing particularly on phonics. As you may know, we recently introduced the Jolly Phonics scheme, and that seems to be going really well. We've just taken down an initial data sample of the progress that children have made, and we're analysing that as we go so that we know how best to adjust if we need to. Meanwhile, best practice in this area of phonics teaching is being shared through learning walks where colleagues are doubling up or getting in teams of 3 to go around and see each other delivering these phonics lessons. The EAL, English as Additional Language Working Group, has been focusing mainly on staffing and especially looking at the level of support that is out there in terms of special needs and English language development, and seeing whether we have a good match in terms of the amount of human resource and expertise that we have to address that. Meantime, it seems that the initial round of retesting in the WEDA tests for those students who needed it has been very successful, and they've done very well. And then finally, in preparing next year's budget, we're proposing to add a lead practitioner in Baja to complement the one we have in Urca. This is somebody who supports other colleagues with professional development. And overall, the professional development budget is set to rise quite significantly. And of course, being priority 1, then language and literacy is going to be top of the list when it comes to getting funding for colleagues to undertake training in that particular area. So, we've been pretty busy, and that's only one of the three target areas that we've set for ourselves. I'll get back to you fairly soon about what we've been doing in the area of well-being, where we've been just as busy. Might be next week, might be sometime soon thereafter. But in the meantime, have a great weekend, won't you?